Back again on my podcast, Stephen Sully Study at Woodbury House. Got a wicked guest in front of me, aka the Jack Fincham.
Bloody great rep.
Winner of Love Island season 4. We are going to be talking about,
in my opinion,
probably. We are going to be talking about clearly Love Island.
Yes.
Boxing.
Yes.
Little bit of Office, little bit of Brent.
Yeah.
And a whole heap of other stuff. So where should we start?
Listen, you're the host. I could take over because, don't think of me as your boss. Yeah?
More of an entertainer.
Entertainer third.
Okay.
But go on. Listen, look, you're the host. Ask away. I'm an open book today.
Cool. I appreciate it.
I'm an open book today.
On a serious note, I absolutely am humbled that you said yes to coming on board, and I really appreciate it. Nice one, bro. Thank you.
No problem.
So, one thing I'm always intrigued about is, let's just say, like, I'm gonna, take this the right way.
Yeah.
You're a normal, genuine, good guy.
Yeah.
But when you go from, like, let's say the typical 9 to 5 kind of job or a typical life, and then you go into something like Love Island, how it's a bit of a weird question, but how are you prepared for that?
Listen, to tell you the truth, there's no preparation. There's no preparation. Like, so I remember, what was it, 4 years ago now? No, coming up 4 years ago, and nothing's changed with like when you pop out and people ask for photos and stuff like that, which I love doing. It's nice, but they don't prepare you. So you land back from Mallorca, and you head round the corner. We landed in Stansted Airport, right? And I remember the producer saying to us, he went, right, listen, he said, there's a lot of people behind there. He said, they all come to see you. Because you don't realise you're in there, right? And you're in this bubble and it's perfect. And you're not worrying about, bills or just every day. Like, a bit closer. Just every day.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like fucking...
You're just going through the motions.
Yeah. You just live every moment as it's there.
Yeah.
You go out there, and I swear to God, Steve, mate, there was thousands of people, mate. Paparazzi falling over each other, trying to take photos. It was mental. And then
And is it a good feeling, or is it a bit overwhelming?
It was overwhelming for me because...
anxiety type?
Anxiety, yeah, because I'd always suffer from anxiety anyway. But it kind of went away when I was in there because you just forget. It's like you're just being on holiday.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing experience of my whole entire life. And you're not prepared for I couldn't, for example, just go up to my local Asda or Tesco and things like that, because you just got a blue water. You can't get away. People just follow you and that. And I'm not the sort of person to be like, I'll go away. Like, I'm standing there taking photos. I remember once, right, I made the mistake. I've been home for a week and I went blue water to get some shopping. And I was stuck on the elevator, right, taking photos with his kids, mate. And then a queue formed. And you think to yourself, how is this show that big? You just do not realise. I think coupled with the World Cup, everyone, it was like a summer to remember. So that's why now it's still kind of the same.
Yeah.
But in terms of preparation, you don't get any. And the way I describe it to people is, think of it this way: you're never actually out on your own. So if I go out for something on my own, I'm not on my own. There's someone there like that, and you're eating, they're going out.
They're waiting.
With their phone like that. And for me, there was points like when I low points and whatnot that I was just a paranoid wreck. Wow, look, fucking. Can't even pick your nose in traffic lights in case someone like videos, because you always get like sort of van or drive past like that, going, hey, like, and all that bollocks. But there's no preparation to it. You just got to kind of get on with it. But you do get used to it. You do fall into it, and then when the work comes in, it's like they don't tell you how to manage your money, because I'm talking, you're getting these brand deals, you're getting this TV work, all this stuff, and it's like super money. And something happened to me really bad at the start. Like, I could say I half blame myself, right? A friend of mine, he had all his best interests at heart. signed me with an agent that was his girlfriend's agent. But I'd never even met this geezer, right? So I signed a bit of paper, and as I come out, realised actually I don't really want to work with this fella. I didn't realise there would be so many options, have agents, and I didn't understand this stuff, because to tell you the truth, with Love Island, I didn't actually go to the first two auditions. I looked at the derby and I went, nah, ain't for me. Yeah, you know, ain't for me. And then I ended up fucking getting stung for like 100 grand, like at the start of it. So I was playing catch up from the beginning. But then this money's constantly coming in, and my personality, that having time and money on your hands is a bad mix. And it put me, over the last 3 years, sort of just, I spiraled out of control. And I'm just now pulling myself back together, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
So the birth, because you asked me earlier outside when we was having a coffee, like the kind of my podcast, how it started, etc. The Stephen Sully study, and I've said this a few times on episodes, is filling my own void. So when I was a kid, there was no such thing as social media. There was no real thing of really using the internet. And I had no clue what I wanted to do when I came out of work. I was going to go into the army. My mum and dad talked me out of it because they said I was going to get killed. Then I ended up doing a job that they wanted me to do. Then. Yeah. Are you shooting everyone?
Send Steve out. Send Steve out.
Send him over there. Oh, he's asleep again. Rubbish. But anyway, so I ended up doing a job they wanted me to do, which is plumbing. I resented it. And I've done a podcast episode before, which is have your own plan or you find yourself becoming someone else's plan. And I honestly do believe in that.
I do.
Anyway, so I end up going into sales, and I've actually lost my train of thought here. What we was talking about? What was we talking about? First of all, we was talking about. Stephen Sully.
You triggered loads of points. You triggered loads of points in my mind that I wanted to touch on. But go on, carry on.
So anyway, I've gone into sales, and when I've
filling your own void.
Yeah, when I'm sort of going through sales and then setting up my own companies, etc. I thought back. If I can inspire a young kid, female, male, whatever, and he's coming through school and he doesn't know what he wants to do, he knows he doesn't want to go to university, doesn't want to get his A-levels, doesn't want to go down the conventional route, but wants to do something slightly different. I'm interviewing people like you, athletes, entrepreneurs, go-getters, people that are out in the public domain where they can listen to a conversation and say, okay, that person's inspired me. They've given me a bit of motivation, education, and now I'm going to go down this path. What you said about Love Island is quite interesting, because this is my comparison. And I don't know if it's right, and I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but this is my observation of it. It's a bit like when people used to say entrepreneurs or business owners, millionaires, versus people that win, let's say, the lottery. People that win the lottery 9 times out of 10 are not prepared for that amount of kind of money sometimes.
Correct.
And sometimes when they win it, after a couple of years, they end up losing it. Yeah. But with an entrepreneur, they've gone through the hardship, they've gone through the lessons, they've gone through all this stuff. And then when they get there, they kind of almost prepare for it. And the equivalent I was going to give is someone like, let's say boxing, right? Harlem Eubank is now becoming kind of like really successful as a fighter. Yeah, he's not at the same. He's not the same sort of level as AJ, but once he gets there, he's kind of gone through the ranks, and the fame is increasing every time. But in your scenario, it was like Jack Fincham, the normal guy, bang into superstardom. Yeah, and it's almost like it's like
I ain't gonna lie to you, I felt like Justin Bieber at that airport.
It must have been an amazing feeling, but again, like, how do you prepare for it? Because some people can go crazy, some people can relish it, some people can turn, it can just turn them into someone that they're not. And do you think there should be a bit more help by these TV programs?
100% think there should be more guidance. They should say, listen, you're going to earn this amount of money, invest it, save it, do something with it. Because with me, if I've got really, really, really bad ADHD, like it's bad. I can't concentrate on anything. My memory span's fucked, and I'm
very similar.
Someone tells me saying like, and it's awful. It's awful when you meet so many people, but if I don't have a structure, right? So before I was earning good money doing sales. I was happy.
You do strike me though as a natural born salesperson.
Yeah, and I love it.
You got that charm. You got the energy.
Yeah.
You're certain. You're confident.
Yeah, and I love it. And it's like I had a structure there. I knew that. Listen, if I went out on a Wednesday, right, I didn't get turn up Thursday. Yeah, you get a bit of a bollocking or whatever, but the structure's still there. You're back on it on Thursday. You're back on it. You're back on your meetings. It's there. Yeah. When I was huge. When I was huge, there was no backlash. If I wanted to go out and do something and I didn't want to turn up the next day, then I wouldn't. And it was the wrong attitude because there was no structure. So I had all this time, all this money on my hands, and I wouldn't say fucked it, but put it this way, without that structure, I fell to bits, and I just I was depressed, you know. And this is only over the last year where the money started running out and the work's drying up because of the bad headlines. I'm not a bad person. But sometimes good people can do bad things, and unfortunately, the press and people that read the press believe what they read. And I'd say, and this is being generous, 30% of it's true, you know. So that messed me up. So I lost a lot of work, you know, just through doing silly things, and all of a sudden the phone stops ringing, and that over the last 6 months, I'm in panic mode now. I'm going, what do I do? So I'm now taking it into my own hands. I've just filmed a little TV show, just done. So the work's still there. People still want to work with me, but I feel like in myself, I've got to build up trust in myself to know that I'm going to turn up on time, know that I'm going to do this, and prove to these brands that they want to work with me. Yeah, so that's why I've gone back to my roots, and I've set up an office supply stationery company. We do like obviously furniture, print, all that kind of stuff. I know they dumbed it down, and Love Island just said I sold pens. I thought, cheeky bastards. So I've set up a company there, so that way I know that I've got to get up Monday to Friday, and I've got a structure there. It's in place. Yeah. I've got to do it, and if I get the TV work on the side, it doesn't matter. There's no basic wage. We're 50-50 on our profits, so I can then go do that, and then do that, and do that, and do that, and then eventually the trust comes back. And when you're focused on something, especially with ADHD, like if you're hyper focused on something, you hyper focus on it, and that is all you want to do. Yeah, that's all you want to do. But for me, and I've hit rock bottom, yeah, and I think I had to.
Can I interject?
Go on.
Describe what rock bottom is to you.
Rock bottom to me was not earning the money I was earning, and just feeling like at points I didn't even want to be here. Like I've never said this before. Like Christmas time, man, I took an overdose, man. I was ready to go. Didn't want to be here. Did not want to be here, mate. Like, and then I just, it's upsetting to think. And then March, my nan passed away, and that really affected me. And for that year, last March, so it's been like a year and a half. That year and a half has just been like, mate, it's been just a downward spiral, mate. Watching the money go like down and down and down and down, watching the work go down and down and down. It's more and more time to be in your own head, and more time to think, what is my purpose? Like, you know, reading people's stupid hate comments on Instagram. When back in the day, I never give a shit. I was like, I don't give a fuck, mate. I've got fucking X amount in the bank, mate. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Why do I care what you think? Now I'm starting to care what they think. And it was like, I felt like I had to hit this point to go, because there's no other way. And that's a cliche, but there's no other way
apart from
upwards. And it's happening. And now I'm putting myself around the right people, like people that I want to be like, and people that can put me in touch with the right people to make what I want to happen, to build this successful company, to build this successful TV career again, and to build working with these good brands I used to work with, like top brands. I mean, I've worked with like McDonald's, Lucozade, like I'm talking like top brands, you know. I've done feeler campaigns, you know, like all that stuff. Like it's gonna come back, but until I sort myself out, it won't happen. So that's why now I've turned over a new leaf, and I'm just changing myself, and I'm gonna do it. Like there's no, I will not fail. I weren't born to be a failure. Like I weren't born, and like even with the boxing for me was so important. Like I went and got my pro license, training with, in my opinion, the best trainer in the country. Got a bit much going to and from Harlow twice a day from where I live. Like, it's a fair slap, like hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. And I had no other life. So I've gone back to my old trainer who trained me from when I was like 14. And I'm going to have my pro debut. It's going to be on Sky Sports. And I'm going to go at every single person that said you weren't going to... Because I think a lot of people think, boxing, he won't do that. He won't do that. And it's happened with a lot of things. And they've been right. They've been right. And I was such a good at playing the victim card. Like, well, this is my excuse. I didn't have no excuses. It's because it was me. I didn't want to put the work in. I didn't care. I thought the money weren't going to run out. I thought I was just going to be fine. But at the end of the day, you have to work for things, and that's what I'm willing to do now, and I am doing. Like, you know, I'm too fucking good to. I'm not gonna commit suicide, mate. What was I thinking? Like, I get upset thinking about it, and you know, and I was using that excuse. You know, I lost my nan. Like, my nan was my best mate. Like, honestly, like, I told her more than I've ever told my mum. I told her everything. Like, I'm talking everything. Like, and then she always made me feel better. And it was like when that went away, I felt like I had something just taken from, like a rug pulled from underneath me, and I was just stuck in just shit. And I just didn't, and I didn't care.
As cliche as this may sound, as obvious it may sound, sometimes, because I had my nan pass away this year, in actual fact, my uncle and then her son, my nan, all passed away within 2 or 3 weeks of each other. And I had to go to the same funeral place. And I was like, oh my God, it really proves how delicate and how quick life goes. And sometimes when you lose someone that close to you, it actually gives you a kick up your own backside and think, right, now I need to crack on. Did that happen to you?
It at the start, it started out me going, I don't care. I'm going to just go out. I'm going to take drugs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to...
Bit resentful and a bit bitter towards life.
Bitter towards life. I thought, and I remember I used to sit there and I just think, if I don't wake up, I don't care. I don't care if I don't wake up, right? And I had a lot of struggles with addiction from that time, because I was doing these things so much to just escape reality. I didn't want to be in reality. I didn't want to have to think about my nan. I didn't have to think about work dwindling. I didn't have to think about bills I got to pay. I just didn't want to think about it. So I thought to myself, if I don't wake up this tomorrow, I'm happy. I've done it. And I used to say to myself, you've travelled the world. You've travelled well. You've done this. You've done that. And then there's just something over about the last 6 months. I just thought, what would my nan say if you was doing that? She'd go, you little fucking bastard. She'd go, what are you doing? She was like, just go get on with it. Like, get on with it, make me proud. Like, and that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm in the middle of turning my life around. Like, and that is what, and it's refreshing, because I thought I'd be so sad when I see, you know, that bank balance gone, and that you know, all these friends that you thought were your mates that are not there anymore. Like, they're not there anymore. The ones that the day ones, they're still there. Of course they are. I thought I'd be sad, but I'm not. I'm just like, I feel like I've been given a second chance now, but this time it really is up to me, and this time there ain't no room for messing it up. There ain't no room for it. It's got to happen.
When you went into Love Island and you won it, first of all, the question is, did you believe you were going to win it?
Do you know what? This is going to sound mental. So I believe in the law of attraction, like,
me too,
massively. Yeah. So I know it works. This is why I'm a lazy bastard, because I've not been doing it. When I first got convinced by everyone just to go to the audition, right? Went to the audition. That day, they rang me up and said, the executives of the show want to see you. Can you come back? So I went back, and I'm in the starting lineup. What? Wow. So for 2 months, I just sit there, just think, I've won. I can't believe I won Love Island. Saying I've won it. I used to write it out on a bit of paper. Jack Fincham won Love Island 2018.
Affirmation.
And yeah. When my company done a congratulations, I opened up the card, and it was the bit of that they'd found the bit of paper. It must have been in my drawer or something, and they should write underneath it, and you did. And I was like, oh my God, like. So I know it works. I've got to get myself in that mind frame again, which I am. And things I'm doing now, and things I'm saying, and the way I'm portraying myself, and the way I'm acting, and the way I'm carrying myself, it's coming, it's happening.
Yeah.
Like the boxing, I won't listen. Everything happens for a reason. The reason I didn't box that time was because I was right. Fair enough. I got myself in shape. I got fit. I probably would have won. I know I would have won, but I was still sneakily going out and drinking on the weekends. You can't do that. You either do it 100% or you don't do it.
Yeah.
So this time around with the boxing, I'm going back to my old trainer. I'm going to do it completely right, and I'm going to win and prove a lot of people wrong. Because I think a lot of people think I'm just like a lot of people don't even know that I boxed. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I remember when I done my first.
When I first met you, and you said you were boxing, I had heard that you you'd done a bit of boxing before, but when you were doing a little bit of shadow boxing, I thought he can actually box.
Yeah, no,
like, some people throw their hands around, and you're like, they're no one. But you've got everything there, and I'm like, this guy can fight.
Yeah.
You know? So why is it important for you to get back into the boxing ring?
Because it's really, really important for me, because it keeps me on the straight and narrow. It gives me, your training's your mentor. Like, you can't, if I say I'm going to be there at 6 a.m. and I ain't there, mate, I'm banging trouble. I have to be there, and I will be there. Yeah, and I will be there. And that was another thing as well. Like, back, 2-3 years ago, I wasn't accountable for nothing. So if I fucked up or I didn't do something, no one would tell me off. If they did tell me off, I'd tell them to fuck off. I wasn't myself. Like, I'm really soft, and I'm actually really shy, but people don't know that. So that's why I used to find that, like, getting drunk and doing, and going to parties and stuff, that made me feel like that was the only way that I could show my funny side, and people thought I was cool. Like, but when I get to know people, I am naturally funny. I do have a laugh, and I am a soft, kind person. And I just want people to see that again. But a lot of stuff that in personal life had happened, and the boxing is just so important to me, because I need it. I need that structure again. It's structure. Like, it's began to work 9 to 5, business jack, training after work, what I used to do, and I was happy as Larry, mate. I used to sit there at my desk, and I used to have these pictures of all these watches, all these like jewellery, watches, all this stuff. I've bought them all. Every watch under the sun I've had. But when I got it, I went,
nice for 5 minutes,
I don't want it.
Off.
I don't want it. I don't wear a watch anymore. Like, I just, it doesn't interest me anymore. All I'm interested in is being, and people say they want to find happiness. I don't think happiness is a thing. I think it's just being content in yourself, and happiness comes in bursts, don't it? But being content, like, you might have had a bad day, but you go home to your nice house that you've bought, that you worked hard for, you're then content. You don't go in your house every time and go, oh my God, I'm so happy that I'm in my house. Like, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. It's like, I think just finding contentment is what I want. And also finding a purpose, because I hate that question people say to me, what you up? When people say, what are you up to these days? I don't know what to say to them sometimes. It's embarrassing. The phone ain't rang in 6 weeks because I ain't done nothing. But the work will come back in. It will. I strongly believe that. Or when people say, well, where do you want to be in 5 years? I think, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do in 5 years. I don't know what I want to be. I don't know who I am. I'm kind of lost at the minute.
You're like reinventing yourself.
Yeah, I'm reinventing myself. I'm finding myself, and I'm finding what I want to do. But I know boxing is definitely going to be a part of that.
How far do you want to take the boxing?
I want the Southern area title would be a dream for me.
British? How heavy are you?
Championship weight, I'll probably do super middle.
Okay.
Dry out.
That's a tough.
I'll dry out.
Tough category to be in. Though.
So it might even be light heavy, because at the minute I'm an heavyweight at the minute. But that's just important to me. But the whole thing boils down to having a structure, because if I ain't got a structure, I fall to pieces. I just fall to pieces, and all I want to do is just drink and take drugs and fucking do things that I wouldn't normally do, just escape reality. And like I said, the main point I want to get across is, like, doesn't make me a bad person. It's like, good people just do bad things, and it can, and it's an addiction is a struggle. It's hard. And it ain't just you involved. Your whole family's involved. It can ruin people's lives. And for me now, I know now it's life or death, mate. It's life or death. You either knuckle that in the head and knuckle down. Listen, I'm not saying people that I'm going to be clean for 50 years. I'm not, I'm not the Pope. Do you know what I mean? But like,
time and a place.
There's times and places for everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as it lays, I'm reinventing myself, and I want to prove a lot of people right, because a lot of people believed in me, and I let them down, and I want them to prove them right. And say, I told you he'd come through. I told you he'd come good.
Yeah.
And prove myself right as well.
Yeah. The other sort of element of, let's say, going into something like Love Island, becoming famous, being in the tabloids for good and maybe not so good reasons. There's the other element where people don't train you. And I love this psychology, which is they don't train you, prepare you from when you're on social media and have a large following. So you got like 1.9 million followers on Instagram. Across all the other platforms, we're talking about probably 2 or 3 million people following you.
Yeah.
What's that like day to day? Because you can't really get away from it unless you come off social media. Do you get positive feedback all the time, negative feedback? What's your take on social media?
So if I could, I'd delete Instagram tomorrow. Poison. People just say nasty things, and you might get 1,000 comments. But you read that one comment that says you're fat and you're this and you're rubbish, and that's the only one you focus on all day. Like, that's my personality. It might be water off someone's back, water duck's back for some people, but for me, it sticks in my head. But obviously, I need it for work.
But when you were flying, as in like, just come out, loads of money, everyone loved you, you're probably a bit more resilient.
Yeah, 100%.
But when
it breaks
things
you down.
But when things get a bit tough, then you feel more exposed to the small little comments.
That's you've hit the nail on the head. It's exactly what it is. And I don't get these people. Like, I wouldn't dream of saying something to someone I don't know. It's not very nice. I wouldn't dream of it. It doesn't enter my head. So
I had the same conversation.
So I don't get these people. I don't.
I had the same conversation with Lewis Burton, who come onto the podcast, I think, back in the last year. And, he's got a good following. He's verified on Instagram. And I'm like, because I see myself in the future. I want to grow this podcast. I want to be the best at what I can be. I want to take the spot of Joe Rogan, all these other bigger people in the future. And I believe I can get there. But I'm also preparing for the negative comeback, because when you've got hundreds of thousands of followers or millions, they're going to be some arseholes out there.
Put it this way, you can't argue. You can't argue with all these people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll sit there, right? Someone will write something so idiotic, right? I have to reply, but you can't argue with these people. Like, I'll give you an example. Once I remember I was on a train. I was just having a little bicker with my brother, and someone got involved. He went, "No wonder Danny left you." And I turned around. I said, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "No, I do. I'm talking to my brother." And she went, "Well, don't go on a show then and put yourself out there." And in a way, I thought, good point. Like, it's hard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. But it's hard because people think they've got a right to say things to you when they've seen you
because you're in the public domain.
Yeah, and you're not you're not Cillian Murphy. You're not playing a character on Peaky Blinders. You're being you. So they're judging you as you, or what they think's you. But another thing I always say is no real such thing as reality TV unless it's a documentary. It all has to be done, camera shots and things like that.
Slightly staged.
It's slightly staged. It's all real conversations, but me and you might have the conversation here, but we didn't get that on that camera. Do you mind having that conversation again over there? And then other stuff might pop up. So they're real conversations, but it's placed is the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
But I lost my trail of thought then.
You got like 1.9 million followers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get this, and hopefully in the future I will. I want to have that good problem. But when you wake up, there's going to be a flood of messages in your DMs. Yeah. What kind of things you see in there?
I don't look at them because it's mad. I mean, because obviously a lot of them go into requests. So people that I speak to goes into the normal one. But I don't even reply to them because it's still fucking like hundreds of them. But so like I'll go on to like requests now. Right, so let's go on requests. This would be something funny. Just look.
Just in there,
It's nice. It's nice. It just says, beautiful. I saw you a couple of weeks ago driving past Bunkers Hill. It's just like you're constantly being watched. It's like a bit creepy.
Because that never goes...
And someone just, look, had to go up my outfit. Look, so this is today. Boots and denim, no rules. I thought that looked alright. Nice pair of Chelsea boots and a pair of jeans.
Mate, you're looking suave.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I've come to realise now you can't argue with all these people. So now I just think, do you know what? Think what you want, honestly, because I can't be asked to get into it.
There is the other good side of social media, which is,
of course,
spreads
good messages.
Yeah, and also like. I know it's going to sound cliche, but you got to use social media, not let social media use you. And I think for a business, like nearly 2 million followers, I mean, surely there could be some really good endorsements there that you can, brand alignment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of that stuff, the business side of it.
The business side of it, I earn a lot of money through the business side of it. I actually started out, I did have 2.6 million.
Can I ask, like, when you say good money, what we're talking about? Too much, baby. How much are you getting paid for this?
Depends what it is. Like if it's just a post, it can be it's thousands, in the thousands, right? But if it's like a little video, like it can be double figure thousands. Do you know what I mean? Not now. I've lost a lot, and I've lost a lot through my own. Just I ain't changed as a person, but just negative headlines and things like that. But you know, I'll come back or whatever, and it's like I want people, because it's hard. It's like, how do I explain this? So people see a version of you, didn't they, on social media and on TV. I want people. I'm now open. I never would talk about like all this stuff. I was so like, I don't want anyone else to find out that I've been out, that I've done this or I've done that or I've done that. Nah, it's like if you find out, you find out. You got to take the rough with this move. Like people do it all the time. So it's like people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Half these journalists that write these things about these people, they're doing worse. Trust me, I know they're doing worse. So I think they need to ease off a little bit when it comes to like stories that people write and things like that, or criticising you for something silly. Like, you know, my dog Elvis, like, he's not my best mate. Like, he's got his ears cropped. Look, I rescued him off of a geezer that said, would you want him as a gift? Yeah, of course I do. Of course I would. I'm not going to give a dog a home. I've got 5. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, when I got the bulldog, can't believe gone to a puppy farm. It was a present from my mate. I didn't buy it, and the other 3 are rescues. And on there now, I put a picture of him up last night. And the amount of times I've explained it, I don't explain it anymore. One of them called me a twat this morning for cutting his ears like I'm a butcher. Do you know what I mean? It's like you just can't argue. Just can't argue with it. So now, and also as well, where I'm just still myself and never changed. People don't want to see certain things on Instagram, like, so they want to see like the celebrity lifestyle and how cool it is and all that. But really, I'm not really doing much. So I'm just posting up me and my mates. Nobody wants to see me and my mates. And that's how the followers started going down. You know, and I've been told by my management a few times, start using it as a business, which I am going to start doing. I'm going to start my own private Instagram account and just use that for business. Do you know what I mean? Give people what they want to see. So I'd be at a festival or something going, "Wee, who the to see that? I don't want to see it." Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to start using that for business, and then start up like a little private one that I just have a laugh with my mates on. You can be on it.
Nice one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a funny one, social media, because it can do so much good. But it can also you got to think about them. I call them memes. Everyone takes a piss out of me. Memes. Yeah. Everyone went, like, you know, say someone gets done with one, it can ruin their life. It's funny. I've laughed at them, but like that poor bastard's gonna go, oh my god, the geezer that's on that meme thing.
Well, Anthony Joshua sadly lost on the weekend against Usyk, and I think that was a great fight, and he just come up short on that night. But the amount of memes that came out minutes after, I mean, people must be sitting there by the computer waiting for their downfall. got to admit, some of them are very funny. But if someone was like,
oh yeah, they're clever,
very clever. But if someone was like a little bit sort of exposed with their mindset at that present point in time, it could send them into depression.
100%. Like anything, like a post that someone puts up about you can be.
Can I ask this then? What is, and I don't want to bring up like old feelings, but what's the worst headline or worst comment that you've ever received?
Oh God, let me think. Do you know what? I've just had a lot of people, like things that I enjoy, like, you know, the boxing, and I love animals, you know, my nature and stuff like that. People that comment on that and go like, you're fucking useless, you're shit, you're fat, you're just personal. You're spiteful, fat, yeah. Like you're like, oh, your mum, or your, or they've said like, put a picture up of my little sister who I adore. You know, like she's only 13. Obviously, I'll never tell her, but like, you know, they'll say comments about your family and things like that, and it mate, it gets me. And all I want to do, mate, is just reply. I go, tell you what, come meet me now and say it to my face, and then I'll put my head straight through it. Do you know what I mean? It makes me that angry. So there's been some horrible things, but then again, you get some nice things and some supportive stuff. Or you get the condescending ones where people write, I'm not having a dig, but, and then they give you their life advice. Like, yeah, why am I going to listen to you? Let me live my life. So it's like people always feel like they've got a right. They've got a right to tell you how you should be doing something, why you should be doing something, and what's right and what's wrong, when that's completely wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's a funny old game, mate. Instagram and all that. I don't use Twitter. I've got it, but I don't use it. I ain't posting that for ages. That place is poisonous, mate. No, there's nothing nice that goes on there. The amount of arguments I've had on there, but I'm having arguments over like, I'm thinking, why am I doing this? I'm just sitting there annoying myself for no reason. Yeah. But yeah, I've had some awful stuff. But then again, when I was going through a really, really bad time a couple of months back, like really bad time, and I felt like I had no one to talk to, like, and I just went on. I don't know why I'd done it, to be honest. Sometimes I regret it, sometimes I don't. But I thought I'd rather get out in the open, and I just let it all out, and I just told everyone how I was feeling, and the support I got was overwhelming. Like, I cried, I was crying, like I was physically sitting there crying my eyes out, like going, I can't believe that there's this many people do actually care, like, and it restores a bit of faith in humanity. So that gave me a kick up the arse to go, right, I can't let all these people be so supportive and be, you know, so nice to me, and then go and do the same things again, because it makes no sense. They're there that's happened for a reason. So, yeah, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag, I'd say is the word. You gave advice about, like, you know, your own advice, which is getting back on the horse, so to speak. Yeah. Getting into routine. Yeah. Routine is the most important thing.
Okay.
Ever.
And what's your perfect day-to-day routine? Talk me through a typical day of Jack Fincham.
So at the minute, there's not much going on, but as of next week, this will be my routine. Get up in the morning, 6 a.m, train, boxing. 9 a.m, go to work. Maybe do a few meetings. About 4 o'clock, finish, go home, chill out. Train again about 6:30 or 7, 8, could be later. Maybe if it's sparring, whatever. Go home, go to sleep. Do that Monday to Friday, Saturday. Don't deprive, because what a lot of people do is deprive themselves, like, and don't do anything. You need to have a release. So if you go out on a Saturday, you go out to the pub and you haven't necessarily got a drink, but you're chilling out with your mates. Do it. Don't sit in your own head. Because what my mistake was mum and that would be at work when I was living at home. You know, stepdad's at work, Oliver's in Ibiza, my brother, all my mates are at work. I'm sitting in my own head. I'd make up scenarios that didn't even happen, and then I would come home and I'd be like, literally like rocking, like crying, just like, you've got to ring the doctor, you've got to ring the hospital, like, I need to be sectioned. She's going, what? Because I've sat there in my own head for so long in the day, like, I've had so much time and nothing to do that I've made up a situation and wasn't even true. Like, and I was really unwell, really, really, really unwell. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, and that was, then it got bad, obviously around Christmas when obviously the overdose happened and all this stuff. And I think it's awful that it happened, but I needed it because now, like, I think it's a cliche. I know we love that word, but like, what don't kill you makes you so much stronger, mate. Like, because now I think to myself, there's nothing you can say to me that someone ain't already said. There's nothing you can do to me that hasn't already happened. There's nothing you can, even like physically, that you can't hurt me. You can't. You got to kill me. You literally, like, you can't. Like, even if you steal from me, mate, I've been down to nothing. I'll get it back.
Yeah.
So I'm just all about positivity now and just try. And what I do eventually want to do, I mean, at the minute, I'm not in a position to do that. I want to eventually start helping other people. I want to help them with addiction, mental health. Addiction and mental health, because they really do go hand in hand. I want to help young people with it, because people think, like, when you think of an addict, right? It's a disease of the brain, addiction. Like, when you think of an addict, you think of like some geezer with a needle hanging out of his arm in an archway, with a Costa cup. Do you know what I mean?
Like a stereotypical kind of, addict.
That's not what it is. So when I'm in a position, I'm recovered, and I'm like, in a really, really good place, and I've boxed, and I'm presenting again back on Sky Sports with Boxer, which is happening. I actually spoke to him yesterday, so I've been getting back on my presenting, which I love. I actually love my presenting. Then I want to start helping people. I think, because if you don't help other people, you won't. If you help people, it comes back tenfold.
Of course it does. Yeah.
It really does.
Well, it's what you put out to the universe, you get back.
100%. So that's my aim. Like, get myself back to. I'd say I'm back at about 70% now. And then when I'm back at 100%, that's when I'm going to start helping a lot of people, and it will come back to me tenfold. And I know it will. Yeah, I know it will.
That's good. What have you been doing recently then?
Recently, I've just finished filming a little show for ITV. Finished it a few days ago. Finished to film a little show for ITV2, which was fun. That was good.
What was that? What was that called?
Celebrity Dinner Date. It's a good show, that. Been setting up the office supply and stationery company, so that's again giving the structure. So we do like, print, furniture, pens, obviously.
Yeah.
Anything really, signage, office refurbs, office cleans, like fake. A lot of people have been getting this recently. A lot of fake plants in the office.
Yeah,
looks quite cool. Pretty much everything really. So I've been setting that company up, which will be going live very, very soon. In fact, I've got a business card in the next room. I'll ham on over, but I'll do it. You got to do it cool though. You got to go. There you go.
There you go. Bell me if you need anything.
Anything. So that's what I do. So so I've been setting that up, and I've just been sitting there thinking of ideas really, and just like what do I want to do. And obviously, I buried my head in the sand for a long time, and in a just a terrible dark place. I buried my head in the sand. Didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't answer the phone. I just thought, oh God, life is over. I'd rather not be here. I would rather than feel like it is. I would rather not be here. Then I've just slowly just
picked yourself up.
Got out, start answering the phone again. Then go and have a little walk with someone, and then eventually you think, oh, I feel all right now, and then not 100%, but you feel better. So then I've been doing that, getting myself back to fighting strength. Spoke to Boxer, so I'm gonna start presenting back on Sky Sports, which is sick. Then I'm gonna get back in the ring, and then watch. Once you start looking after your body, fit mind.
So, working hard, working out. Should we do your abs again? Should we do your abs again? Probably.
Yeah, should we do your abs again? Not now. You're all right, aren't you? Showing up in front of the. Yeah.
Or against karate.
Yeah. He'd come through that wall. Yeah. So just getting myself back fighting fit and that, and then like once you start like doing positive stuff in areas that were shit, everything else just comes together.
It's the congruency. So I've got a wellness company called Mimboso, which stands for Mind, Body and Soul.
Yeah.
The soul, our spin on soul's nutrition. And the app is designed for people to better their life. So unlike Instagram, where Instagram wants to retain you on there, we don't say that to our consumers. We're saying to them, get on there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, get the very, very best content and then implement it into your life. And I believe that if you can read the right things, be around the right people, have a positive outlook on life, train, exercise and eat the right food, you're never going to be perfect, but you're pursuing perfection.
You're pursuing perfection, yeah, because I think there's no such thing as perfect. Like there ain't, there just ain't, and there's no point saying I'm perfect now. Like,
well, it's a bit like going what you were saying before about some people who've got a big following on social media. They portray a bit of a fake or a bit of a like they purport something on social media, and then a young kid. Let's say a young teenager, they look at that person and think, I want to be like that. And where they feel they can't get there, that's when it starts sending them into depression, anxiety and stuff.
Well, look at it this way. Look, people are posting the highlights of their life, the best bits of their life. Like, if you're having a really shitty day, you ain't going to post and go, oh, I had a terrible day, didn't I? I'll stick that one up. It's just not going to happen, is it? No. So like you're looking at the highlights of people's lives. So a young kid, like you say, will read that or look at that and go, oh, why can't I be like him? Why can't I be? And that sends them into depression. So I think there should be more awareness on that somehow. I don't know how you do it, but somehow.
Yeah.
But lost my trail of thought because that geezer's eyes are like piercing blue.
The Richard Hamilton, Only Hard For You. It's a powerful one.
Such a good paint.
On that note, we got the 29th of October, our event at the Hamyard Hotel, which I'm doing a Q&A with Nima Labrizi, a very large...
Can I do questions?
Go on.
I'm going to think it's no, because I'm going to make you laugh up there, and it'd be funny for me.
And we're going to have Oren Jacobi, who is the Oscar-nominated director for the Shadow Man documentary. There, it's going to be an amazing event, and obviously you're going to be attending.
Are you going to be like motivational speaker and just like, get out?
Yeah, get out.
Yeah. If you don't want to make it, don't think you can cut it.
That's why I wore this hat. I was going to throw it at Lauren. Go, yeah.
Just
you don't find heels like that anymore.
You can still find them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. That'd be good.
So there's only one or two more things I want to ask you, Jack, because I know you're a very, very busy man. I don't want to always come back to Love Island, but,
of course.
But that is the thing that kind of, sort of, it kind of sort of catapulted you into like, fame, success, and all this other good stuff that you're doing.
Multiple shows.
Multiple successful entrepreneur.
Multiple shows, so not just one, not just multiple. So.
Yeah, like platinum record, music star.
been in a film. What?
What film was you in?
Called The Last Heist. Comes out early next year.
Big time.
Tommy, big time. Diet. Big time.
All the characters, not the characters, all the individuals on that episode in season 4 all seem like actually like quite nice people.
Genuinely nice people, yeah. There's not one I didn't like.
Do you know the romance?
I would say
the romance between you and Danny. So that's Danny Dyer's daughter. Yeah. Was that a genuine one?
100%, man. Like, listen, I'll put it this way. Like, I did love her. Like, I loved her. Like, I loved her a lot. Like, but I suppose the way to describe it is, it's a holiday romance. You're set up in the idyllic situation where all your cleaning's done, your bed's made for you in the morning. You spend all day together, just chilling in the sun and like your mates round you, and it's just amazing. It's hot and the weather and the tan, and there's nothing. It's paradise. So how, if you fancy each other and you get on and you got that time to spend with one another, how can you you're gonna fall in love.
Yeah.
But then you go out into the real world, your phones you get your phone back, you start having real life stresses. I fucking ain't put the bins out. Little tiny things start grating on ya, and I'll probably greater than her more, right? And there's a lot of things I regret. There's a lot of things I regret with Danny. Like she was beautiful and she was lovely, and
if you could turn back the hands of time, what would you change?
I'd just change myself and be. Do you know what? And this is what I've been doing. I've been being more considerate. Like I could be quite selfish. Like, so if I could turn back the hands of time, I'd be less selfish and start taking other people's feelings into consideration more so than what I do. I mean, I always do. But sometimes I think people think I care more about animals than people, which is probably half true. But I'd be more considerate and actually think, because in my head it'd be like, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm going out. What's the matter? But like, really, they want to spend time with you. How nice is that someone wants to spend time with you?
Lovely.
And now I'm on my own. Do you know what I mean? So listen, I think if you go out looking for a relationship, like you go out thinking, oh, I really want to find my wife tonight or my boyfriend tonight, it won't happen. You gotta, it just can't, it happens naturally, I think. Yeah. Like, I've never ever had a girlfriend that I've met through a platform or a social dating social app, whatever it's called.
Like a Tinder or something.
Tinder. I've only ever been at someone I've met face to face. I think that's important.
Because that's dying out a bit, isn't it? You know,
it's dying out, man. Listen, and people talk about chat lines, all this, man. Just go up and say hello, and trust me, it'll just flow. And if it's someone you've got a connection with, you'll have a conversation.
Yeah,
you'll
feel it. Yeah,
you'll just have a conversation. I've never met someone through an online. Like, don't get me wrong, DM girls, and you DM girls, I've met with them, whatever. But I know I'm not going to go out with them. But girlfriends, I've met actually having a genuine conversation with. Seeing them, hello, oh, you're right. Like, just hello, like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's not hard. If I could turn back time, probably be less selfish and took her feelings into consideration more.
What was our old man like, Danny?
Lovely fella.
Yeah.
Really lovely fella.
I loved him in The Business.
It's probably still is my favourite film.
Yeah.
Between that and all the Rise of the Foot Soldiers. Blinding films.
Yeah.
Blinding films.
Really, really good films.
Really good films.
There was the other one as well where he was in when he was younger. It was called...
Human Traffic.
Unbelievable.
What's a film?
Unbelievable.
Which reminds me of me when I was that age.
With all the XC pills. Yeah,
yeah,
unbelievable.
It's sick.
And there's that scene where that guy's trying to light the lighter and it's doing that for ages.
Yeah.
And it's just, it takes me back when I used to go to after parties.
Yeah.
And it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and it's just one random geezer.
Raves and that, innit? Yeah. Sick.
Crazy times.
Sick, man. Sick.
Right, so I know you kind of answered it, but where can we expect to see you in the next 5 or 10 years? I mean, have you put anything out there? I know you said about the boxing and getting back onto TV and stuff, but is there any real other goals that you set for the future?
You know what? I'm gonna pursue the acting more. Okay. I really enjoy the acting, so I'm gonna pursue acting. Like 100% pursue acting. I've got the right contacts. I've already been in a film. So I know how to do it. Obviously, I can hone the skills. Get back into my presenting, get back into my boxing, and get this company up and running. So those 4 things.
Amazing.
So my company up and running. What was the other one?
Boxing.
Boxing. Be boxing again. Be out there actively boxing.
Presenting. Did you say acting?
Did I say acting? Can't remember. But them 4 things.
Yeah, TV, acting, boxing, and also your company.
Yeah, I want to start again. So I want to get my company up and running and being a successful company. I want to definitely pursue the acting career because I really enjoy it and I know I can do it. I want to do my TV presenting again because I love that.
Yeah.
And I want to get my boxing back. I want to go back into the ring. I'm going to fight and prove a lot of people wrong. And I'll do all 4 of them.
Cool.
I'll mark my words today. All 4 of them will happen. And once that all comes good and once everything else starts coming good around that, your life just becomes better.
Yeah. I only known you for a short amount of time, but I do honestly say this, that, listen, mate, if you ever need chat, I'm here.
Oh, no, I
want to be working with you as well, even with Woodbury House and the Richard Hamilton stuff.
This is what I was going to say. We can talk about it another time, but yeah, the offer still stands. I weren't in the right place, right frame of mind before, but I want to still get involved with Woodbury House and you know,
do bits and pieces. For sure. We could do some projects
Definitely.
around the world. This is one last question.
Go on.
So you kind of answered it earlier without even realising, but
All right.
I've got a mantra, or a bit of a catchphrase, and the catchphrase goes like this: be happy, never content. Now, the reason why I come up with it is when I started my first sales company, to get the sales guys going, and females, was to give them something they can live by. It's not like a lifestyle. I want to ask you, Jack Fincham, what does be happy, never content mean to you?
To me, I would say be happy, never content means be in a frame of mind and in a situation that you are happy with and that you feel joyed with, rather than just settling for something and going, it ain't bad, it ain't good, but it will do me for now.
Lovely stuff. Thanks for your time, mate. Thanks
problem.
everyone listening.
Anytime.
Please share this and
Share it.
share it right now.
Now, do it now. Swipe up or something.
Give a little comment. So a positive one.
Positive.
Only positive.
Yeah.
And be happy, never content. Nice one, Jack.
Friend first, boss second, probably entertainer third.
Leave me hanging. So.